What's up, everybody, and welcome to the relaunching of Picking Up the Crap, my look at the NPD hardware and software sales in the U.S. market. This is your boy, the valedictorian of the Kobe system, the one and only Jodecideion. I know it's been a while since I did a video in this series, mainly due to the troubles being trying to find the correct numbers when it comes to sales of the NPD, thanks to their new tight-lip policy. Also, last year was a straight dominance of the 360. So pretty much it was a fight for second place, which in the end turned to be almost maybe a tie in the U.S. market. I'm not quite sure. Still, I wanted to bring this series back, put another spin on it. Definitely with the arrival of the 3DS and the Vita coming in a couple of days, we have some new fresh numbers to look at and try to figure out where the industry is going before the launch of the Wii U and the eighth generation. Joining me in this series to add a little spice, to add a little different opinion, different spin on it, is my boy, TheShooter. If you're not familiar with him, please check out his channel. He's a young cat on YouTube doing his thing. And now, here's some time for him. Shooter, go right ahead.
All right, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. How's it going, peoples? You know me. You know I like to do talk about software numbers and everything. And I thought I'd join up with your boy Jodecideion to talk a little bit about something. See if we can put our minds together and enlighten some people this evening.
Well said, well said. All right, so in this premiere episode, we're going to look at the January 2012 numbers at NPD. The numbers we could find. Because believe me, it's been for some reason now, not even Patcher is releasing any numbers. No one's saying anything, and so you're basically just in the dark. But on the top 10 side of things, game wise, and the NPD, the way they do it now, they put all the games together by how many platforms they're on. The number one game in January was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 across four platforms. Number two, Just Dance 3 across three platforms. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim across three platforms, NBA 2K12 across six platforms, Battlefield 3 across three platforms, Madden NFL 12 across five platforms, Mario Kart 7 on the Nintendo 3DS, Skylanders Spiral's Adventure across five platforms, Zumba Fitness 2 on the Nintendo Wii, and Saints Row the Third across three platforms. Your number one selling, well, at least on the home console front, is the Xbox 360, selling 270,000 systems. And supposedly, according to NeoGAF, the Nintendo Wii and PS3 sold a combined 281,000 systems in the month of January. The 360 was down 29% from last year, and as a whole, the Wii and PS3 dropped by 52% from last year. All right, Shooter, man. Like I said, we don't have these numbers. So it's really kind of hard to see what's going on. But in your opinion, what do you think is going on? Why was the sales so low this month?
Um, well, it's definitely I if they you know it's kind it's again it's really hard to tell as you said. One would think it might be a slowdown from after the holidays, maybe, because a lot of people, they spend, they might spend and spend and spend, and then it's like, okay, well, back to work, back to school, time to rebuild the income back up. On the same hand, listen to one of the financial reports on Nightly Business News on PBS. Really good show to watch. It was saying that a lot of Americans saved a lot more. They saved a lot more money from this past year. Maybe just about a 0.5%, which isn't a lot, but that shows that the spending was definitely down. So that could definitely take a part in that too. Um, but all in out, I think it's another thing I'm looking at, and especially on a positive note, besides the economy. I'm hoping. Well, of course, we're all hoping, but we're definitely thinking if these numbers are right from the report where I was said from 2004, comparing those 2004, those 2000 and now. Those that it could be a possible thing of the generations changing. It could be that. It could be a slowdown from that. So it's at this point in time, I think it might definitely be a lot of other contributing factors as well.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's real, you know, on the Nintendo side, you can pretty much explain everything. You pretty much have a lackluster year of not releasing any high quality software that moves systems throughout the whole year. You're pretty much trying to get rid of the system to promote your new handheld, the 3DS, and then also you're launching an 8th generation system later this year, the Wii U. So I can understand why Nintendo is not, selling as well. Anybody who's actually interested in buying a system probably already bought the Wii, 5 years ago because the system has been the leading console, the dominant console this whole generation. So it could be a saturation point with the Wii. And at the same time, you never really see any new content to bring people in, for the first time. Then you have, the 360 received a slight price cut last year with the remodel, a redesign pretty much. You almost call it relaunching. The Connect effect is there, and on the PS3 side, they had a remodel last year, or maybe 2 years ago. When I can't remember exactly when the Slim came out, but also they had a price cut as well. So on the Wii side, the competition is now getting closer to your level, getting closer to your price level, and then they have their own little things that are kind of blocking you out. Now, on the 360 thing, that's the main thing that I'm trying to figure out is what's going on with that. Because the Wii, we can explain with Nintendo pretty much trying to kill the system off. But the 360, this is the first full year after the release of Connect. And last year, the 360 had its best year overall since it's been on the market. And mind you, it's been on the market a year longer than everybody else. But last year was their best year. So everybody sees this as an upswing. But we're trying to figure out, one, where the upswing is coming from, what is actually driving these sales, and then to see that the first month in the new year after the first year of Connect, you're down 29%. What is that saying about the current state of the consumers buying your product? And then the PS3 itself, man, it's been an anomaly since the existence of it. Back in '06. It's part of it could be price, but then at this point, price has nothing to do with it. Honest, I mean, to be honest with you, the reason I'm stating a price for the PS3 can be a factor now because we're now 5 6 years in, and even though we know people will buy the PS3 more if it was way cheaper, your $200 range or whatever. We came across during the holidays when everybody was having those huge discounts on all the systems. People still didn't buy in droves. If you look at the numbers from the December uh, NPD, the PS3 came in third during December, during Christmas. It sold less than 1 million systems. And that's how it's been this whole generation. It's never sold really huge or what was the average during the holiday season. And so it's just, people just not feeling your non gaming consumer just don't feel like the PS3 is a system worth buying. At least that's what it seems like. And so if you got the Wii, which has been setting the market on fire, and I think people really don't want to give the Wii the respect it deserves. But even during the heyday of the PS2, when the PS2 it dominated the industry, and no one was outselling it. Even at its best, it didn't have a yearly output like the Wii or monthly output like the Wii did when the Wii was on fire. And so you take the Wii out, it's basically you look at it like a basketball game where you got to star your LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, or in some cases your Jeremy Lin. Throw them out there. When you're scoring all those huge points and you have an off night, if the other two guys are not stepping up their game to make up for the points you're not getting, you're going to end up losing. And that's what we have right now. We have the basic numbers we've been having all generation, but without the Wii being there, it makes everything look like in dire straits. But no, speaking of Microsoft Connect, as we last year Microsoft dominated the industry in the U.S. market. They sold the most systems. They led every NPD each month, and they sold overall the most systems throughout the year by a couple million, I believe. I believe it was like maybe I don't know, maybe 8 to 5 or seven to
Mhm.
four. It was pretty big number. And now we're in the first month of the new year after the Connect effect, and they're down 29%. Can we honestly really say that what drove the sales last year during that year was the Connect? Now that we're in a new year and we're now seeing declines. Like if it is Connect, can we say that Connect is actually just like a fad where people call the Wii the fad, but that fad lasted for like 5 years or 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Connect is
Right.
now 1 year old, and we're already seeing decline in the sales per month. So could we say that people who bought it as a fad, or maybe just maybe the connects that were bought were just from the people who were rebuying their systems for the third and fourth time due to the previous model being so faulty?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of it that way. I mean, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I was blown away by those numbers when they showed, especially last month when they showed those December numbers, which of course ultimately were the holiday numbers.
Right.
And I was just blown away by that. I mean, it still is impressive, but you have a perfect point there that how much of that is actually pushing units? Is it like you said, is it a purchasing, or is it an actual, oh well, you know what, or yeah, I think I'm gonna get a 360 now,
Yeah.
or something like that, because a man would buy for his family, just like he would have bought the Wii, for his family, for everybody to be able to play and everybody to have fun. Was he, was it somebody or a mother, purchasing it like that? That's something to definitely think about.
Right. I mean, is it actually new consumers, or is it just guys rebuying their models? Because I mean, even November numbers, 2011, the 360 dominated. It sold 1.7 million systems.
Hmm.
The following December, they sold about 1.7 again. You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
about 3.4 million in 2 months. Impressive, definitely impressive. Still,
Right.
when you compare that to, let's say, what the Wii done in its heyday, where the Wii hit like 4 million systems sold in '09, you
Hmm.
know, and you can see, you can also, the main thing is you can look at the games that were selling and see that new consumers were buying the games. Games that didn't exist before were now being bought by these new consumers that weren't there before. Your Just Dance, things like that. With Connect games are never ever in the top 10. And even if there are Connect games there are Wii games that are on Connect. The
Hmm.
Wii version is the one that's is the dominant selling version when you come to Just Dance and the Zumba fitness, games.
Hmm.
And so it's real just peculiar to try to figure out what was driving the Connect sales last year. And if in February we see another decline, is that actually just point at that there actually was no real growth in Microsoft's business, at least when it comes to the hardware sales. It's just people buying a new version of the 360 that's more reliable, and because they're all packaged with Connects now, that drives Connect sales. Because when you buy a new 360, you have to get a Connect that adds into it.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. That's another good point, because yeah, you want to have you want to have that console that um, as you mentioned with the Wii, more cases than one, and I'm sure you can attest to this yourself, that the majority of the peripherals, or the add-ons or whatever for the Wii, like the Wii Fit and Wii Motion Plus. I mean, a lot of people, I wouldn't doubt, still have their same Wii console.
Right, right,
Like I said, without a doubt. But then, on the other hand, I'm sure there are a good amount that rebought. But at the same time, like I said, when you think of that 360, almost, I guess you could call it, like what I like to call it, the PS2 effect.
right,
Now, we all know a lot of people, they love the PS2, but they would play the crap out of it, and it would bust up, and they'd have to go buy another one, or get it replaced or whatever, if they had a warranty,
right.
for that matter, if they were fortunate enough to have one of those. But nonetheless, like I said, that going back and purchase again, how much is actually, would the would the Connect have, could have been better, definitely, to like you said, if we see next month, we'll see how much of an effect it actually does have on the sales of those hardware. Yeah,
Well, all right, everybody, I want to thank you for joining the new version, the relaunch of Picking Up the Crap. Hope to be back next month with another look at the February NPD numbers. Uh, so for your boy, the shooter.
thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Jodecideion, for having me on.
All right, appreciate it, appreciate it. This is your boy, the one and only Jodecideion. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Peace.